Hey there, I'm John Cox with BoardGameGeek, and today we have Jim Long with Ares Games, and we're looking at Master of the Galaxy.
Hello. This is a game we're doing in partnership with a Russian company called Agrology, and this is their product that was initially on Kickstarter, will be available to the public very soon. As you can see here, we've got the board laid out and a couple of components. We're still very early in manufacturing, so we've got some finished components, and we've got some that are more placeholder, and quite frankly, some are still playtest.
Yeah, a couple different kinds of cubes. We have some really nice looking pieces of plastic there.
Exactly.
So,
Master of the Galaxy is literally a 4X game. The object of the game is to win by one of three victory conditions. Whether you're conquesting, whether you're building up your technology, whether you're expanding, you're trying to outsmart the other races.
Okay.
When the game starts, you'll all have a race. Every player gets a race from the one selected. It's up to a 4-player game.
Okay.
Okay. And each race has different things that they can do, different specialties that they have, but they all have their own advantage. So, for example, in this case, the rocks, they're very good at influencing green, which we'll talk about in a second.
Sure.
Their resources replenish relatively quickly, and they can fulfill their agenda very quickly.
All right.
Okay. So, how the game works is you start off with a certain number of cubes in a bag.
All right.
Five each of the different colors. When it's your turn, you simply draw cubes. And so what you're doing is you're attempting to gain control of different planets as shown on the board and expand your technology, expand your mercantile enterprises, and really try to outsmart the other planets with whatever your play style is. And it supports a variety of play styles.
Okay.
So for example, you start in one of the corners. In this case, I'm blue. If I build a blue base here in the corner, it makes it more powerful. I've got additional planets here on my system that I can build up to give me more cubes. Cubes go into my bag. At the start of my turn, I draw them out. So the more cubes I have, the more options I have. The basic mechanic of the game is I draw my cubes, and let's say I randomly drew these 3.
Sure.
I place them, and let's say I'm the
Go ahead and put it right
Cyclops.
there.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So now I have 3 things I can do. Okay, I can start filling out agendas. Okay, and that's why I say why this is kind of play test at this point, where things are not quite
the right size.
Right size, exactly.
But we get the idea. Yeah.
So as I place these there, ultimately over the course of time, what's going to happen is I'm going to complete these. And when I complete these, I get to draw a card. So maybe I draw, I have this card.
Okay.
Okay, well now I have another thing that I can do.
And this goes face up in front of you right here?
Right, exactly. So as I play this card, I'm allowed to have 7 cards. A card is either in play or it's not in play. So there's no hand of cards per se. Your cards are always played out in front of you. So as I gain more cards, progress, expansion, commerce, as I acquire a leader, the different they let me do different things. And so as I move through here, maybe I want to build the space exchange. So as I draw yellow cards, I keep filling them up, and when I ultimately complete all 4, then I get the effect, which in this case is get a couple cards. I take them and I put the resources back into my bag.
All right.
So one of the things that happens is if you can start a lot of different cards, start a lot of different things that you're trying to do, you can have a lot of variety, and you can deal with different kinds of draws and to maybe finish your projects. However, when your cubes are outside your bag, it's sometimes difficult to fill them back up. So sometimes you run into a condition where you're looking for that last blue cube. You've got 6 cubes in your bag, one of them blue, and you're not drawing the blue tile. You need to finish your program. So there's a very nice dynamic tension between unlimited growth and scarcity of resources.
Okay, I noticed that there's a lot of places on the board for cubes.
Yes, so what happens is one of the things you can do is you can build out to other areas. So for example, right here, I've got a blue home base and a yellow planet.
Sure.
If I happen to draw 3 blue cubes, for example, I can place these out right here. Well, now I've opened that lane to that system right there.
All right.
Okay, and as you look at the different races, for example, up here's how they build space stations.
That's the one on the top right?
Right. So, for example, here, these guys, the Cyclops, not very good at it. It takes them more cubes than it does to take The ideas.
Good luck with that one. But
Yes.
This one's
The
4,
crystallized,
this one's 2.
yeah, exactly. So each race has things that they're very good at and things that they're not so good at. Okay, so in this case, 2 yellow cubes and they can build that race. In this case, I've built a lane. Now I can put, I can build a base here.
Yeah.
Now I can start expanding this.
Okay.
Nice thing about this is I could, if I decided to build a base here, I could pick these cubes up and I can put them into my bag to have these blues available. If I say have a shortage of blues and I need to get them back to my bag to fill another program.
Right.
Or I could leave these here and I could actually keep it there, which lets me continue to funnel resources and exploit more.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sorry.
Nope. So one of the things that happens, though, just in regard to the different planets is you'll notice right here there is a symbol. And I apologize for the...
Looks like it's a peace dove type of
exactly,
thing.
a strategy symbol. So right here, one of the things, if you have 5 matching symbols, then that's one of the victory conditions. So in this case, I can start off with a star. If I have this, if I have a lane from here to here, then I'll have a dove.
Right.
But in this case, well, I have to build a lane here. There is no direct path here, so I can either go here to here, or I can go build both of these, and now I have that symbol as well.
Right.
I can complete my agendas, for example. So let's say I am the crystallides. Well, if I have the crystallides here, I have this for the planet. I complete this agenda. Well, now I have 2. So how do I get others?
Right.
So as you move through the game, that's part of the deal, is to build those strategy cards.
Okay.
The last real piece is conflict, because building a space freeway is slow and maybe difficult. I can just try to conquer.
All right.
And there's 2 types of conquering. So there, under certain conditions, you can get a conflict card. And a conflict card, on your turn, you can play it to a particular space lane. And the orientation matters. So depending on if, say, you and I were in contention, say if you're right here and I'm right here, well, we can contend over, wait a second, who's gonna control here.
Yeah.
Conflict is always brutal, because in a player-to-player conflict, someone loses, that's very hurtful. You lose resources, you lose time.
Right.
You can also conflict against a neutral party. So in this case, if I said, rather than just building a lane, I can actually just go out there and attack them.
Okay.
Okay, and I can try to take control of that green system by simply attacking. You notice the card itself has 2 different directions. In this case, going from here to here, I would need 2 reds, 3 yellows, otherwise 4 reds and 2 yellows. So depending on what I have in my bag, if I'm red rich, for example, maybe I want to put it that way, even though it takes a few more resources.
Sure.
Or maybe I want to go this way. In this case, if I go this way, okay, I will simply get the resource. In this case, if I go here, I'll actually get a card by spending the extra resources. So I get some choices. Now, conflicts are randomly drawn. So as you can see, there's different ways of actually conflicting. Total war, you can actually peace plans and trying to actually fight by not fighting, and that can be a way that you can actually fight. So if it has a cross on it right here, it means it's an exploited resource. It's empty. So in this case, if I completed this and I make it to the green system, I would take the 4 red and I would discard them, and they go out into the common pool. I take the 2 yellow and I put it back into my bag.
All right.
The card goes up, and now I've got that planet.
Okay.
You know how to play the game. Now,
yeah.
now everything else is just details.
Cool. So what's the release date looking like for this one?
This is a summer, early fall. Definitely by Essen, hopefully before.
All right.
And so as a Russian developer and an Italian publisher, Essen is a really big date. So we won't miss Essen. Hopefully we get it on or before Gen Con, and we'll
make it work.
Shipping, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for giving us the overview.
Thank you for the opportunity.